Hello, welcome back to another video. Anime John here. We are doing What If Luffy Had the Yami Yami NoMi Part 1. See, this was suggested by Black Phoenix. He had suggested it for me to do it a certain way, but I had different plans. Thank you, Black Phoenix, for the suggestion, and I hope you enjoy. And I hope everybody who's watching this to enjoy. So yeah, let's get into the video. We start off to the day Luffy was born. Luffy was born, of course, by the hands of Monkey D. Dragon, and also is the grandson of Monkey D. Garp. So, Luffy, when he's born, right away, he's taken away by Garp. Not even questioned by Dragon at all. Dragon gets back to what he has done, what needs to be done, and Garp takes Luffy to leave. You guys may be thinking, oh, how come Garp doesn't try to arrest Dragon? He knows that Garp is not within the power in order to do so, and yeah. But there's one more thing that Garp has in mind with Luffy. Garp has the mindset of making Luffy into the finest marine ever, into a fleet admiral. But that's just not the way Luffy was born to be. So, we get to Garp's plan. Garp has the Yami Yami NoMi as he's carrying Luffy to his place. You may be thinking, what about Luffy's mom? Luffy's mom takes on with Garp, soon to be, going on her own ways, you could say. But yeah, now let's get back to it. Garp is taking Luffy, on his own, you could say. Garp is taking Luffy, to the island where Dadan is and stuff like that. And yeah. But that same day he was born, Luffy was fed the Yami Yami NoMi as his first meal of his entire life. You guys may think, oh, he can't, no. It was smushed or whatever. It was, Luffy figured it out. Okay? Luffy ate the Yami Yami NoMi at just 1 day old. So it's like this power is going to be with him pretty much his entire life. So, we're going to time skip to about 3 years. And Luffy's basically 3 years later. You guys may be thinking, oh, Luffy's not that really advanced with his fruit, but it's actually different. False. Luffy is actually pretty advanced with his fruit. Like I said earlier, he ate the Yami Yami NoMi on his first day alive. So basically his entire life till then, he's had the Yami Yami NoMi. He had those abilities his entire life. So basically, there's no him not being used to it. He was born with it. Pretty much. He pretty much was born with the ability. So that's like his normal thing. Like, you know how he's used to the Gum Gum NoMi? He's even more used to this fruit than the Gum Gum NoMi. Because he was born with it. So even at 3 years old, he's able to do things. Of course, if you guys don't know, the Yami Yami NoMi cannot detach himself like other Yogiers could. But what it can do is, stop the powers of a devil fruit user by the touch. And yeah, and he can make black holes and whatnot. So many things Luffy do is he likes dark places, but it's not like he hates light places, but he's stronger in the dark, you could say. So at nighttime he's even stronger than he is at day. But it doesn't even really matter at day because 3 years old. He's 3 years old, but we're not talking about his abilities. I'm talking about like when he's older. You know what I'm saying? When he's older, Luffy's like, it doesn't really matter in light because he can really suck up light in his black hole. That's why the black hole, the Yami Yami NoMi, is so overpowered. That's why some people consider it to be the strongest Logia. But yeah, Luffy, how could I say? Yeah, we're gonna skip to where Luffy's about 7 years old. And, he meets Shanks. Luffy meets Shanks the first time in forever, you could say. Well, it is the first time, actually. I said first time in forever. Yeah, Luffy meets Shanks, and, Shanks gets attached to the kid. He sees that the kid's super strong because of his fruit. And he can see how used to having the fruit is the kid has. It's as if the kid always has his fruit his whole life, which he has. And, Shanks is getting pretty attached to this kid. So Shanks asked the kid, hey, Luffy, ever considered being a pirate? Luffy's like, nah. Well, actually, kind of, yeah. I heard they have loads of freedom. It's just my grandfather. He wants me to be a fleet admiral or something. That's why I have this weird ability. Luffy says, well, want to see something cool? He's 7 years old. He makes a tiny black hole in his hand, and then the objects in the room start floating towards him. Shanks says, hey, kid, you should stop that before you kill half of us in here. Luffy says, okay, I guess so. And he closes the black hole. Shanks laughs. He says, how old were you when you first able to do that? I think I was 3 or 4. It's not that hard. Now I could make a pretty big one, probably the size of a beach ball, says Luffy. But when I do that, it does a lot of damage. Even the seas start to rumble a bit. It's crazy, says Luffy. I'm really, really strong. I've never fought anybody else with abilities like myself, but I'm pretty used to it, says Luffy. This fruit has been around since I've had this power since I can remember. I never was explained to what it was, but I know it has to be used to be a fleet admiral, which I don't really like. From the sounds of it, sounds like I'm pretty much like a slave who just goes around and killing pirates, and that's not really something I really want to do. But I heard pirates have freedom to do whatever they want. They just can't be caught by the Marines. Luffy says. Shanks says, yeah, that's right, kid. You see me, kid. I'm a pirate, and I do whatever I want. If you consider being a pirate anytime soon, maybe you can tag along on my ship. Luffy says, really? Yes, please, I want to get away from this island. Shanks like, what? That quick, kid? Why do you want to get away from this island? Luffy says, well, my grandfather's never here. He's barely ever here. He's always gone for weeks, months, and he only comes back for a few days. Other than that, I stay with Dada. I mean, not Dada. I said Dada. Garp says, other than that, I'm pretty much just here all alone. I come to the bar a lot to hang out with the nice lady here, but that's about it, says Luffy to Shanks. Shanks says, oh, you're pretty much a loner, huh, kid? Luffy says, yeah. All I want in life is to be able to eat a lot of meat, live freely, and travel. Other than that, I don't really care. As long as I'm able to do whatever I want to do and spend time whoever I want to with. And I want to have great friends, says Luffy. Like you, says Luffy. You're a cool guy, says Luffy to Shanks. Shanks says, yeah. I'll let you tag along with me, kid. One condition. He puts the straw hat on his head, he says to Shanks. He says to Luffy, look, kid, see this hat, right? When you turn about 17 years old, I want you to leave my ship and go on your own adventure, says Shanks. Luffy's like, oh, sure, can do. That's 10 years, right? So, are you gonna, train me or something? Shanks says, I'm gonna train you, kid. And you're gonna be strong. Stronger than any pirate on the seas. Maybe not when I'm done training you, but when you're done on the adventure, I want this straw hat back. But I only want it back when you get stronger than me. Luffy smiles. He says, of course, says Luffy. Shanks smiles. And he looks at the rest of the crew, and the crew nod their head, and he says, Aye, sir. Welcome to the crew, Luffy. As they all smile and they rub Luffy on the head. Luffy wears the hats and he's jumping in glee as if he feels like he's with the whole family. Luffy's finally actually happy in his life. Shanks says, hey, kid, what about your pops? Where's he? Luffy says, my pops? I have a dad? Shanks laughs. He says, everybody has a dad, kid. Luffy says, not me. Never heard of him. Well, Shanks says, what's your name, kid? Oh, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. Shanks says, Monkey D. Luffy. Okay. He inhales so high, you're Monkey D. Luffy. your name is Monkey D. Luffy. Says Luffy, yeah, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy is my name. Monkey D, you know. You could say Luffy D Monkey or whatever. Shanks is like, okay, it's the will of D. That's crazy. And his last name is Monkey. Your father, I know your father, kid. Well, I don't know him, but I've heard of him. Luffy's like, wait, who? Shanks thinks in his mind. He says, shouldn't give that kid that type of goal, especially the type of man his father is. It'll just get him into trouble. I'd rather him be a pirate than one of those. Shanks says, never mind. It slipped my mind. Luffy's like, whatever. I probably don't have a father anyway. Shanks says, what about your mother? Luffy's like, I have a mom? That's crazy. Whatever. I do not care, says Luffy. And he jumps up on the booster seat or whatever you can say and grabs the orange juice. After that, some mountain men come in. You know, how can I say? What are they called again? Mountain thief or whatever they call it. They come in the room and they ask for booze. The lady says there's no more booze. They took the last of it. The leader of the group, you should say, it's pretty obvious. It's angry and he looks Shanks in his eye and smacks the beer out of his hand. Shanks says nothing, but Luffy gets up. He says, hey, you. Luffy says, hey, what are you doing? That was rude. He did nothing to you. The man says, stay out of this, kid, as he goes for a punch. Luffy stops the punch with ease, and his hands goes into a claw, but the claw is dark. Luffy says, don't touch me. Well, not with that deep voice. He said, don't touch me either. And he scratches the dude in his chest, leaving a whole scar. The man falls to the ground, but he gets up. He says, oh, you're a chump, you stupid kid. Whatever kind of freak you are. He grabs the sword out of his back, and he goes for a swipe at Luffy. It goes straight through Luffy, of course, you know, as he's a Logia. It goes straight through Luffy. And Luffy says, you're an idiot. He makes a black hole ball, but it's like tiny, and throws it at the guy. And the guy, it doesn't kill him, but it does a lot of damage and pretty much knocks him out right there. The rest of his, how can I say, the other thieves, you could say, run out of the bar. Said, this kid's a freak. Everybody run, he's a monster. Luffy says, I'm not a monster. Man, I hate this town. I can't wait to be on that ship. The man on the floor wakes up and he walks out of the restaurant. He says, you'll pay for this, kid. I'll kill you, one way or another. Luffy laughs. He says, you can't do nothing to me. He looks up at Shanks. He says, hey, Shanks, why didn't you do nothing? If you're strong enough to train me, you'd be able to wipe that dude out with ease. Shanks says, there's no reason to fight, Luffy. Come on. Luffy says, what? He knocked your drink out of your hand. Shanks says, no matter. He looked like a fool. He got beat up by a 7-year-old. Luffy says, hey, I'm not just some 7-year-old. I'm a 7-year-old who can kick your butt. Shanks smiles as he rubs his head. He says, hey, Luffy, that was cool. Luffy sits down. He says, I know. And he grabs more orange juice. So we fast forward a few days, and it's about time for Shanks to leave. It's about time for Shanks to leave the day Shanks is about to leave. Of course, Luffy's already on the ship, as he's been waiting for this day for 7 years, you could say. He's been waiting to be free. Shanks says, hey, Luffy, once you come on this ship, once you set sail with us, you'll be an enemy of the government, and your grandfather, you'll end up having to fight against him one day. Luffy says, good. I hate that guy. My whole entire life, all he did was make my life miserable. Luffy says, I plan on getting my revenge on that jerk. He takes me to this island, leaves me here, and comes back only days, just to beat me up and torch me and throw me in the woods, says Luffy. Shanks says, yeesh, that sucks. Shanks thinks in his mind, he says, it's gonna take you a little while, kid. Guessing by your father, your grandfather's Monkey D. Garp. Garp smiles. So well, kid. I mean, not Garp, I said Shanks smiles. He says, dream, kid. You'll be able to do it one day, I can tell. I can sense it. Luffy then goes on about how he hates his grandfather and how he wants to get revenge. Luffy says, I don't even want to kill him. I just want to beat him up so bad and walk away, says Luffy. Shanks says, hey, but right now, for these 10 years going on, says Shanks, you'll be a trainee pirate. So, best hope you don't get a bounty before so, because if so, it'll be a pretty big one, especially since you're getting trained under me and you're on my ship, says Shanks. Luffy says, I don't care. Let's just set sail. So, they set sail, and we're going to fast forward about 5 years to where Luffy's 12 years old. 5 whole entire years. Of course, we all know Luffy's 12 years old. So, well, I just said that. So, yeah, Luffy's 12 years old, and, Shanks stops at an island. Of course, some pirates live at this island. Well, not some, just one. And that pirate seems to be the strongest swordsman, Mihawk. They meet Mihawk, Luffy expecting a fight, because over these years he's been in plenty fights over pirates. But this pirate seems to be a friend of Shanks. And just so you guys know, Shanks has both of his hands, he does not have one. He has two. So, of course, if Mihawk sees Shanks, they're going to be in a sword battle. Shanks meets Mihawk and asks Mihawk, hey, Mihawk, how about a battle, huh? It's like, oh, you're here, Shanks. Hey, who's this little one? It's been a while. Well, before he asked about Luffy, he asked, hey, Shanks, it's been a while. Shanks says, yeah, about 5 to 6 years. Mihawk says, who's the little one right there? She seems annoying. Shanks says, hey, I picked him up about 5 years ago. He's Luffy, a trainee. Mihawk looks at Luffy, says, Luffy. Luffy says, yep, what's up? Wanna fight? Mihawk says, he is an annoying one already, I can tell. Mihawk walks up to Luffy, and Luffy gets into a fighting stance. He's 12 years old, so, Luffy gonna know how to box, if you know what I'm saying. Mihawk goes for a punch. He's just trying to test this kid out, you know what I'm saying? Mihawk goes for a punch, not even a sword swipe. He goes for a punch at Luffy, but Luffy so fast ends up behind Mihawk and kicks him in the back of his leg, putting Mihawk on one knee. So, my boy Luffy, 12 years old, already got a great feat. You know what I'm saying? He put the greatest swordsman, Mihawk, on his knee. If you know what I'm saying. There's no getting better than that, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Mihawk gets up. He says, you're not too weak. And he grabs that tiny knife he used to fight against Zoro. And he swipes at Luffy with, a bit of hockey. Of course, Luffy dodges and uses, he makes his fist into like a black fist. And he punches Mihawk in the chest. Mihawk takes it as if it was nothing, using hockey to, block the punch. Luffy says, you're one of those people using hockey, says Luffy. Luffy says, well, you're not the only one who knows hockey. But before I do that, Luffy puts a finger up and throws a black hole behind Mihawk, pulling Mihawk back. Luffy then makes a claw and infuses as much hockey as possible. He's not really that good at it, but he can do so. And he swipes at Mihawk. But Mihawk uses his tiny knife and swipes at Luffy's arm. Not swipes, but, blocks the attack and, not punches, knees Luffy in his stomach, putting Luffy on the ground. Luffy's on the ground. He's like, yeah, Shanks, this guy's strong. Be careful. Shanks laughs. He says, come on, Luffy. You're 12 now. It's been 5 years of my training and you can barely do that. Luffy says, look. Hey, I wasn't trying my best. I could have done better. I underestimated him. Shanks says, whatever. But Shanks says, get up, Luffy. He looks at Mihawk. He says, Shanks. Mihawk says, I guess it's time for our fight, eh? Mihawk doesn't even say nothing, but pulls out his actual sword, Yoru. Pulls out Yoru, the black blade, and the rest of the crew sit down, just getting ready for the watch. Shanks says, Luffy, sit down. It's time for men to fight. Luffy sits down, holds a bit angry. He's like, whatever. Man, forget all this. Ugh. Yuck. Sits down and he looks up and he sees Mihawk getting to a stance, and so Shanks grabs his blade. They stare each other in the eye for about a minute on edge, and Luffy's actually interested in that part as well. The way they look at each other in the eye, as if they're already battling their souls are already battling each other. Luffy sees this and he finally sees a true fight with Shanks. He's never seen Shanks actually try in a battle, and this would be his first time, of course. Start. Bing! A clash so fast, Luffy barely was able to catch it. But of course he was. All that training did not do anything. He's watching them clash blades each time. Gets Luffy even more interested each time he sees a blade clash. The fight is a true fight. Over, you can hear the waves rumbling, the waves start to, the waves grow big and large. The trees blow as they clash. They then get into one stance. Shanks charges forward, getting ready for a final blow. So does Mihawk swipe. They both fall to the knee. And they both get up as if normal, without having a hurt on their body. Shanks sheathes his sword. He says, ha, Mihawk, I see you still got it. Still can't hurt me, though. Mihawk sheathes his sword. He says, listen, Shanks, if I could have killed you in that moment if I felt like it. Shanks says, you think I tried, kid? Mihawk laughs. So does Shanks. He says, it's been a while, bud. Says Shanks. Luffy says, what? You guys were just in an awesome battle. Why are you guys calling each other bud? Shanks says, hey, this is my old buddy, Mihawk. He says to Luffy. Well, Luffy says, well, I'm gonna have to hang out with your old buddy, Mihawk, because his sword skills are outrageous. Hey, can you teach me how to use a sword? Says Luffy to Mihawk. Mihawk says, really, kid? How's Shanks do? He knows how to use a sword. Luffy says, no. Just by the looks of it, your sword moves are just a tad bit better than his. Mihawk raises an eyebrow. He says, you were able to track our movements. Luffy says, yeah, of course. It was a bit hard, but of course I was able to. I wasn't training for 5 years for nothing. Mihawk laughs. He says, I'm pretty interested, kid. I'll take up on that offer. To be continued. And on that note, we are going to end off the video. So yeah, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you be updating my daily uploads. And yeah, just letting you guys know, if I do not post tomorrow, that's because I'm going to see Spider-Man No Way Home. So yeah, that's why I might not post tomorrow. So yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you be updating my daily uploads. Link down in the description for Mark Spade, who made this thumbnail, my banner, and many thumbnails before. And yeah, peace out.